Start recording. So Isonet4 asks from Twitch, do you have any tips for helping with end user Linux support? Linux end user support is the way they said it. So the short answer is no. And I know you waited for that answer, like for 40 minutes for me to do AMA, but that is actually the short answer. I don't have any tips. I really don't. So, um, but they went on to ask to provide some more context. I'm getting this is from them. I'm getting my LPIC 1 certification. I'm trying to be the Linux guy at the company I work for, but I'm feeling really overwhelmed because I'm new in the open source world, and the guy who was in the position was like 10 years of Linux experience. I know. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. So, uh, it's bad enough being asked to support end users. And may I suggest that you go watch Nick Burns, your company's computer guy. He's gonna fix your computer, then he's gonna make fun of you, cause he's Nick Burns, your company's computer guy. You know it, right? Jimmy Fallon. I can't like show it, or YouTube will freak out. But you should go see it. Nick Burns, uh, uh, your company's. You go watch it. I did the best I could do. How do you spell companies? Is that right? Nick Burns, your company's computer guy. It's an skit. So I go watch it. It'll make you happy. Okay, and you can anyway. No, I don't. The fact of the matter is it's really hard to do Linux end user support. First of all, it's kind of an oxymoron because Linux users, it depends. I mean, it really depends on the Linux user, right? It depends on the Linux user. Linux users are notoriously, and this is something that Linus This Tech was railing on recently, notoriously, uh, you know, hard, I guess, to help. Hard, yeah, that's really it. Because why? Because Linux users need to get used to helping themselves. So, right, and it depends on the Linux user and desktop or server. And I don't know if you're still here, Isonek. If you are, maybe you can help me clarify that. But let me go see if you're here answering. So at least you thought it was funny. So here the problem was, um, that, as you probably already know, Linux users are super duper opinionated. There's a Twitch streamer I really like, Zorchenheimer, who was actually thrown into the role of supporting IBM AIX, and he was so much fun. I really loved him. He's a fantastic streamer, and he was calling VIV, and I won't let him ever live that down. It was hilarious. But he had to move into the same role, and it was really hard. There's a lot of stuff he had to do. What I would say is, don't give up. Keep working. You kind of need to build yourself a plan. Keep working on your own development plan, and just learn to be patient. Honestly, I mean, I know this sounds really horrible to say, but especially if you're doing desktop support, you just have to learn to be patient. Um, and Nick Burns is the opposite of patient. So don't channel him. Like, pretend you're not him. Uh, and you need to develop your own plan. I think the LPIC 1 is something to work for. there is a free Linux foundation. I started it, and I even got permission to stream it. A free Linux foundation. I think it's edX course. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, should you get certified? No, that's a different question. There's two major certificates. There's this is actually for the what is the name of their certificate? Linux Professional Institute. No, it's not. It's I don't know what it's called. I forget the name of it, but they have a certificate. So the Linux Foundation, which includes Torvalds, who's a member, The Linux Foundation is the parent foundation for the Cloud Native Foundation, and they've been around for what, 3 years now. So I would go there. The main reason I would suggest that you get your training from Linux Foundation, I have nothing to do with them, is because they are lab focused, and I'm not so sure the LPIC people, which have been around a lot longer. I don't do Linux Plus though. Oh my God, please don't. It's like a multiple choice Linux test. Like, why would you do that? Is it Linux Certified Sysadmin? Funkbane? Is that what they called it? Yeah. So I would work towards. That would be my recommendation. Work towards Linux. Was it? Practical Linux Certified System Administrator, and it is brutal. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I imagine. Uh, System. Did you get that one, Funkbane? You're in DoD. Did you get it? Certified System Administrator, which nobody uses that term anyway. By the way, when you're doing a job search, don't put that in your job search because they're all looking for SREs now. By the way, my recruiter is heavily hiring SREs if you want to be one. I'm not kidding. I truly mean that. Administrator. Why can't I spell today? God damn it! Did I just add that to my list? You just saw me add that spelling error to my dictionary. I'm gonna have to clean that out later because I'm not paying attention. It is brutal. Yeah. You have to build all the binaries. Oh my God. And you have to know all of the package managers. What? Well, it's Linux for you. Did it have Arch on there? Did it have Arch? I bet it doesn't. SRE is the new umbrella term for DevOps right now. It's the umbrella term for DevOps and sysadmin. Yeah. But it does not have Arch on it. Okay, well, I rest my case. It turns the whole word red instead of like underline. What? edX? That's because it's. Oh, how did I get it to do that? I changed my font stuff. That's what I did. Yeah. RH, SUSE, and Debian are the only things on the test. Really? Focus. That's good to know. On RedHat, SUSE. How do you spell it? SUSE like that, right? I can't remember. I know I would fail just because I can't spell it. I'm not certified, in case you're wondering. No, I've been doing Linux for 3 decades, and I'm still not certified. I've helped people get certified. I taught many friends send me thank you awards at work and stuff, Linux, but I never got certified. Whatever. I know a lot of people that way in cloud native too, and I'm trying to get certified in that because it's kind of a new thing for me. So yeah. Funkbane is definitely the guy to go to, or person to go to. I don't actually know their gender. Then you could, go there, ask questions, and go with that. But what I would suggest though is I would prefer the Linux Foundation stuff, Linux Foundation over the Linux Professional Institute. And you got to understand, I used to be a big LPIC, which originally was a group of Linux professionals who came together and maintained everything. The main reason that I am leaning towards Linux Foundation stuff, they're both great. They're fantastic. They're both really great. Funkbane is a dude. I don't know. I wasn't sure. Okay, so our community is awesome. We have a great community. And by the way, most of them are employed in some professional capacity doing Linux every day. So great place to come join. Join us at artofxrob.tv, where you can join our Twitch stream or use IRC, whatever you want. And that's all. We'll help you get ready. I'm just going to repeat, the Linux Foundation has labs that you have to log into and do things, The LPIC is still a multiple choice exam as of this moment. As far as I know, you still just go in and take your test and check off the question. Still hard, but I'm a big fan of like having to do something to prove your merit. And so that's why I've shifted sort of toward recommending, if you're going to go that route. And as I said, they have a free one that gives you a great overview of what Linux is. The best book on Linux that I know of, but doesn't get into the depth of what Linux is and stuff though, is learning the Linux command line. How much command line was actually on the certification exam? Probably some. Learning the Linux command line from William Schatz. Command line. You can get it for free. It's an absolutely free book. Do not pay for it. But it's sort of dated. It has CGI scripts that are, it teaches you Bash by writing a CGI script. Nobody does that anymore. Linux certified engineers, yeah, it's rough. I probably have a hard time. Does that do any mod probe or anything of that stuff? Like with the anything with the kernel mods, like mod probe and everything. That Ubuntu is not on the list. Yeah, me too. Well, Debian is, Ubuntu is based on Debian, so maybe that's enough. Maybe. I mean, the package managers are anyway, right? So this is our RPM Yum. SUSE's got whatever SUSE has. I told you I would fail. What is SUSE? I can't remember. Is it? I want to say Yak or something. No, that's Lex and Yak. I'm mixing them up. What is it? And then there's Debian's, apt and DP package. What is the one for SUSE? It's like right at the end of I did Mandrake. It was one of my first distros, and I can't remember. I feel really bad. Is Zipper now? Yes. I knew it was a Y thing. Yes. So it's all about the package managers. You got to learn them and know how to do them and maintain them. And we actually came up with some really amazing discoveries about how to add new package source archives. It's in a different video, but the community really helped. We kind of all chimed in, and the movement is away from using standard, adding just generic keys to the key rings, and moving toward a specified keyring per archive so that it can't be hacked or spoofed. And that was something that came from the community while we were messing with that. So again, I'm just going to make a plug for our community out here to help you learn this stuff. We are constantly doing links every day, all day. So, there you go. Hey, how's it going, Taniwa? Systemd stuff, yes. You have to figure out Pam. Do they have any SELinux on there? I hate You're handsome. It's the hat. The SELinux portion is also something to rock. I was afraid SELinux was going to be on there. Damn it. I can't swear. I'm not going to swear as much because it's, YouTube-y kind of thing. Suitable for work-ish. It's never actually suitable for work on my stream or YouTube video. It's not. I'm just going to own it. But it gets pretty damn close, and I don't want to swear. SELinux, though, I hate it. I know you have to have it, but I hate it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, next. So does that answer your question? But the question is about end user support, right? So obviously the best way to do end user support is to get good. So focus on learning your own stuff. Spend time during the day if you can, and not, Let me put you another thing. Here's this is a big one. Actually, I do apparently have opinions. So, this is gonna sound like a shameless plug, but I can't help it. Find a supportive community. I'm not kidding. Raise your hand, all you geeks in here, Linux geeks who know everything about Linux and love to talk. Raise your hand if you got started by finding a Linux community that could help you, such as, was it Het Tanis, who's a streamer here too. He runs a professional Linux meetup on Twitch. He runs it on Twitch now. He's been here a month. Come over and join his community too. Go to the meetups. Go to, find other Linux people to support you. And if you have a question, you can reach out to your support community. And then you'll feel supported when you go, against the lions that are gonna attack you. Linux end users, they can't imagine having to support a Linux end user. It's bad enough supporting like a Mac or a Windows end user. I can't imagine having to support them. Yeah, it was the Ubuntu forum for me. For me, it was get into the news groups. Oh my God, yeah. Find the Linux news groups. And there's Reddits and stuff, but no, the real learning is in the news groups. The Linux mailing lists and news groups. I learned everything to get my first career for an internet service provider, having had no Linux experience whatsoever, from alt Perl, CGI bin, whatever. And the best way to get to the Linux mailing list and news groups now, unfortunately, is Google Groups, and they've got kind of a stranglehold on it. There's other ways to get to it. Complang C, yeah, Complang Perl, Complang C, Usenix. Everybody's waxing nostalgic now in the chat. You can go read Torvald's original rantings in like the original, right? You can read him like going off on Minix and stuff. Yeah, and Funkmain is actually one of the best examples of self-taught. The other thing too about Linux community is you've got to really build up your autodidactic skills. How about that? I put that here. Yeah, I'm gonna use that big word again. Build up your autodidactic skills. That does not just mean you're an independent learner. That means that you're an independent learner who takes notes and makes a plan for their learning. They are constantly setting forth learning adventures and learning projects and stuff. AOL chat rooms. Go away. Go away, keynote address giver mentioning AOL. How dare you? You can just do it here because you're anonymous. You would never openly admit you used AOL. No, I would. I was a CompuServe guy. CompuServe all the way. But I learned about PPP and 56K modems and then Linux, and that was the end. Anyway, so yeah, most of us are self-taught. Most Linux people are self-taught because where are you going to learn it? I mean, really, where are you going to learn it? From the graybeards. That's not my word. That's what they call it. Because there's lots of women. There's lots of women who really, really are great at Linux, by the way. And I don't like that term because it suggests you can't learn Linux from a woman, which is bullshit. You absolutely can. There's just not that many in it. There are Green Jenny is actually one that you could learn from. There's a lot. It's a genderless thing, but that's the term. So I had to go there. Prodigy. Oh my God. Why would you even say such things? They're trying to learn how to support Linux end users, not, do a time machine. I think this video is done now. BSD mailing list. Oh yeah, free BSD. So do we cover everything? Well, anybody else have some pocket advice to give a person who's been thrown into replacing somebody who has been in the job for 10 years? How does anyone, how about this? Anyone fill the shoes of a Linux end user support, what do we call that? Engineer, person, agent, support engineer with 10 years of Linux experience. First of all, you're not going to be able to do it overnight, right? How'd the person leave? Do I mind asking? Did they die? That's so morbid. I'm sorry I asked it. Earthlink? Yeah. Step one, realizing you won't do a good job out of the box. Yeah. Be okay with, oh my God. Be okay with not doing a good job right away. How about that? Does that sound fine? I don't want to hear it. I'm ignoring that comment. Not doing step one means you will crash hard and burn out. Absolutely. Like me and Kubernetes right now. I'm kind of burning out on Kubernetes. I love it. But I am totally burning out on it because I've been so... I'm telling you, find a support group. Really. Build up your autodidactic skills. Find your supportive Linux community so you can go cry to them. And they will not laugh at you. They will support you. They're not going to go, heh, you can't use Arch. You suck. No. May I suggest you avoid the Arch community and anyone who uses Arch as your source of community support. I have a question. I use Arch, by the way. Bye-bye. No. There's good people in the Arch community, too. There are. They're just not that many. I know you guys use Arch, but you're making my point. So, there. You're very helpful, but you'd rather be in front of a big crowd. Whoops. Did I actually say that? I didn't mean it. It was kind of a joke. Okay, I take it back. You're okay with small crowds too? Okay. All right. No, you've been very helpful for me, especially. See, the thing. Okay. So let's be fair. As you kind of level up, you're gonna find different mentors out there. Find yourself a mentor. Find a supportive Linux community and a mentor if you can. And this is important because the person who's commenting right now has been very, very helpful to mentor me in Kubernetes and Cloud Native. I've got a lot of experience, but you kind of gotta find, you got when you get level up, you got to kind of have a mentor who's a little bit above you, right? And that's the cool thing about mentoring is that mentoring is like real skill. It's not some theory. Or as I had a director of education for a community college that shall be unnamed tell me, it was the director of web development department. He had never once made a web page. He was a director, and he was all worried because I got hired to teach web development. And he's like, "Here's all your books you need." I'm like, "Dude, I can do this. That's fine. I'm good." He's like, "Yeah, but this thing," he was drunk. He was drunk, and he told me, he goes, "You know what? I never once made a web page. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just cut and paste stuff out of those books." He told me that at a pub that I can name on a specific date. This is director of a community college. Don't find that person to be your mentor. They're really great people. He gave me a job. He took a chance on me when I was divorced. He's an amazing human being. No idea how to do what he was put in charge of. So, find a mentor. Find someone who's doing it or who has recently done it. And sometimes they're harder to learn from because they're not necessarily personable, but they tend to be more personable when it's one-on-one. College bureaucrats. Yeah, well, there's a director of computer science. Actually, not the director. She was a senior person over there in another college. And we were talking about programming and everything. She'd never heard of the Go programming language. This is 2 years ago. Yeah, she'd never ever heard of it. Not even once. She had no idea what it was. So I'm not bagging on people here. I am trying to tell you, find a community and a mentor of people that are doing it all the time, that are struggling along with you. They're going to be better support. They're going to know what they're doing. And if they don't know what they're doing, they're going to tell you. Avoid the know-it-alls who tell you you have to be like them and you have to do it like them. And by the way, if you do all of these things, doing that same thing is end user support. You're just doing it one-on-one. End user support, let's put that out there. At the end of the day, end user support is mentoring. Kind of on a smaller scale, right? I think. I don't know. Is small scale mentoring. Yeah. So, and the mentors, even the Arch users here would not tell you to learn Arch for your certificate. They would tell you that you can use Arch in your spare time after you learn the other stuff so that you can get a job if that's what you're being told to do. You wouldn't. No good mentor would tell you learn whatever. I'm not giving it a pick on Arch anymore. Unless it relates to your job. They would, a good mentor wants to find your needs and say, "Oh, you need to help other brand new beginners. Well, what's your company using? Blah, blah, blah." And then they ask you a bunch of questions and then you reflect back and then they help you make a decision for you. Any mentor that tells you do what I do, run the fuck away. Because I won't kick you in the shins and cause broken bones. So man, they're making jokes about APL and Java now. They're gone. They're off having fun. Come on in and join us if you want to. If you're stuck doing this, we're here. That's what we do, and that's all. Bye.